Assalamu alaikum, ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bik. You're welcome back. Our lesson of today is still connected to what we had discussed previously in the last episode. For those of us who have not watched that video, we are going to play the beginning part of that video in order for it to serve as an introduction to our topic of today. And for those of us who had watched that particular video, you can simply forward this until you get to the beginning of today's lesson. So here we go. Today in this lesson, we want to move deeper into the classification of the Arabic verbs and also the attachment of the Arabic pronouns to these verbs. We said, as you can see on the board, the Arabic verbs are categorized into two major categories based on the letters forming the verbs. We said the first category we have is al-fi'l sahih, and that means what? Good, that is sound verb. And we have the second category, which is al-fi'l mu'tal, that is what? The weak or the unsound. You can even call it the sick verb. Now the sound verb are verbs, they are simply verbs which do not have any of these three letters. What are the letters? The first one is the letter alif, the second is the letter wa, and the last is the letter ya. So any verb you come across in the Arabic language that does not have any of these three letters among its letters, just know that that verb is a sound verb. And we said also, as for the unsound verb, the sick verb or the weak verb, they are the opposite of the sound verb. So you can define them by saying they are any verb which has the presence of one of these three letters, alif, wa, and ya. To move further, because we had already discussed this, the al-fi'l sahih, which is the sound verb, are further categorized. We have the first category, as we have explained, as what? Al-fi'l salim. This one, they are the oversound verb. These ones, they are more sound. What do we mean by that? These are the type of verbs that do not have a hamza in them. Even though hamza is considered to be a sound letter, it is not as sound as other letters. Just take it this way. So al-fi'l salim, they are any verb in the Arabic language which, number one, they do not have any of their letters as hamza. The second thing that makes them to be al-fi'l salim is that none of their letters is doubled. You cannot see that any of the letters is repeated or doubled. This is al-fi'l salim. The second subcategory under the sound verbs is the al-fi'l mahmuz. It is, from the name mahmuz, hamza, it is any verb which has a hamza. This hamza could be at the beginning of the verb, it could be in the middle, and it could even be at the end of the verb. Examples were given in the previous episode. This one is just to have a foundation before we move on to today's discussion. Now the third category among the sound verbs, it is the one, as we said, which is called al-fi'l mudha'af, that is the doubled verb. What does it mean? It means any verb which has one or the second letter doubled, meaning that the second and the third letter, they are from the same letter. And we give examples also. An example among that is what? The word sadda. You can see the dal there, it is doubled. As for example, for the verb which has hamza, you can see the verb sa'ala. Can you see that? Good. Now coming here to the weak verbs. The first category among these is the one we call al-mithal, al-fi'l al-mithal, the verb which has a sick letter as the first letter. This verb has three letters, but the first letter is a weak letter. An example of this is the word wa'ada. You can see wa is beginning it, so the wa there, it is a sick letter. So this is called al-fi'l al-mithal. I don't know if we are following. If we are, then say mashallah and hit on the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section so this video can go far and others will learn with us. Now coming back, the second subcategory among the weak letters, it is the one we call al-fi'lul ajwaf. Al-fi'lul ajwaf. This is any type of verb which has a sick letter in the middle. This we already discussed. An example of that is the word qala. You can see alifun is in the middle. Can we move on? Of course. Now the third subcategory among the weak verbs is the one which has the last letter as a sick letter. An example is the word hada or the word goa. You can see hada, alifun maksura is ending it. The same thing with goa. Now the fourth category among the sick verbs, it is the one we called al-fi'lul lafif. We call it al-lafif. And this one, they are also further categorized into two. We have al-lafiful makurun and al-lafiful mafruq. Al-lafiful makurun, they are any type of verb in the Arabic language, a verb in Arabic language having 3 letters, and 2 of its letters are sick letters. 2 of its letters are sick letters. An example for this one, which is al-lafiful mafruq, al-lafiful makurun now, it is the one that these 2 sick letters, they are joined together, meaning they appear in succession. An example is the word goa. The word what? Goa, goa, goa. You can see wa, then alifun maksur, which is like yeah, this ending it. So the 2 letters are sick letters. Then the last one, which is al-lafiful mafruq, is the one which also has 2 sick letters, but these sick letters, they are separated. They are not coming in succession. A letter begins, there is a sound letter in the middle and a sick letter at the end. An example of this is the word wa'a, 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 to learn, to memorize. So wa at the beginning and alifun maksura at the end. So this is a foundation, and this, as we said, we have already discussed previously. Now, if you recall very well, in the very last episode, we also discussed that the Arabic language pronouns are categorized into 2. Where we said the first category, it is the ones that are separated, they are detached, they are not joined to a verb. An example is the word huwa, hiya, anta, anti, ana, huma, antuma, nahnu, hum, hunna, antum, antunna. All of these pronouns we have mentioned, all of them, they are usually separated. You don't attach them to the verb. Now we have the second category, which is what the attached form of these pronouns. And those ones, they are the ones that we attach to the verb. And we have discussed about that previously, link also placed above. And we also showed it to you how these pronouns are attached to a verb. I give an example where I said, I ate in the English language. You can see the I, the ate is the pronoun. The word ate is the verb. However, in the Arabic language, if you want to say this, you will simply say akaltu, akaltu. The word akala, akaltu, is a single word as you can see it. However, by implication, it is a 2-in-1 word. Because the first word is akala, joined together with what? 2. So the 2 is the pronoun, while the akala is the what? The verb. But they are joined together. And we have learned how to join these pronouns to this verb. Today, the topic is إسناد الماضي الناقص إلى ضمائر الرفع البارزة. The attribution of the الناقص verbs, which are the type of verbs that have their last letters as sick letters, to الضمائر البارزة, to the apparent pronouns that we have discussed. How do we attach these pronouns to the ناقص verbs? And we are still in our book النحو الواضح للمرحلة الابتدائية. Now we have lots and lots of examples here, and these examples are categorized into 5 sections based on the type of words to which we are going to be attaching these pronouns. So let's quickly rush through these examples before we come to detailed explanation. Here we have khashitu rabbi. In the first section we have 2 words. The first one is khashiya and the second is radiya. So we have khashitu rabbi, which means I fear my Lord. Khashitu, from the word khashiya, you can see. Then the word radina, raditu also, these 2 words, they are from the same pattern. Khashiya, radiya. So raditu rabbi, I feared my Lord. So raditu, the 2 there is attached to it this way. Then we have Khoshina, Khoshina, we fear, Khoshina. You can see the na is simply attached to it this way. Then we have Khoshina, Khoshina, meaning the females, they fear. Then Khoshu, they all fear. Now coming to the word Radina, we have Raditu binasibi, I am pleased with my portion. So Raditu also. Then we have Radina, we are pleased. Then we have Radiya, both of them are pleased. Then we have Radina, that is the females are pleased. Then Radu, all of them are pleased. If you look at the formation of these two words, Khoshiya and Radiya, you will see that they follow the same pattern. All you need to do is to simply add the domir to them. Now coming to the second section, we have the word we have here, Sarutu bijaddi, which simply means I'm honored by my grandfather. So Sarutu, Sarutu, from the word Sarua, Sarua, Sarua. You can see here the word is ending with wa. Just like the second word, Nahua, is also ending with wa. Meaning these two words in these two sections are ending with the same letter. And we know wa is among the 6 letters. Then we have Saruna, Saruna. The na is simply added to it. Then Saruna for the females. Then Sarua, both of them. Then we have Nahutu bitajaribi, Nahutu from the word Nahua. Then we have Nahuna. Then we have what? Nahua. Then we have Nahuna. Then we have Nahua. MashaAllah. Now we have number 3 here. That is the third section. We have Da'autu ahi, I called my brother. So the word da'autu is got from the word da'a, that we know to be ending with alif, that the origin of that alif is wa. Da'autu ahi, I called my brother. So the word is da'a. In order to add the ta to it, you simply bring the last letter to its original form, which is wa. Because we know that da'a, yad'u, in the present form, we can see that wa is replacing the alif. This shows that the word originally ends with wa. So we have da'autu ahi, I called unto my brother. Then we have da'auna, we called. Then we have da'awa, both of them called. Da'auna, the females called. Then we have da'awa, da'awa, da'awa. So now, okay, da'aw, we have da'aw, which means what? All of them called, all the males. Now we have allow to be adabi, meaning I went apex with my moral. That allowed to, just like the word da'a, ala. So alauna, then we have alawa, we have alauna, then we have allow, mashallah, allow. Number 4, we have the word madaitu fi tariqi, I moved on my way. Madaitu, the word is also ending with alif, with the alif that you can see. Originally that alif is ya. That's why in the past tense it became what? Madaitu, with ya, madaitu. So madoina, we have madoya, both of them. Madoina, all the females, then mado, all of them. We have qadaitu daini, I paid back my debts. So qadaina, we paid back. Qadaya, then we have what? Qadaina, all the females. Qadaw, all of them males. Number 5, the last section, we have the word istada'aitu. Istada'aitu sahibi, I called upon my partner, my friend. So istada'a, that is the word ending with alifun that originally is here. Istada'aitu, you can see. So any word coming in this pattern, you simply change it to ya. Istada'aitu. So we have istada'aina, we all summon. Istada'aya, we invite, the both of them invited. Istada'aina, all the females invited. Then istada'aw, all the males invited. Now the other word example in this pattern is the word itala. So here we have italaitul muhra, which means I raised the stamp. Italaitu. So you can see italaina, we raised. Italaya, both of them raised. Italaina, all the females raised. Italaw, all of them raised. So you can see that all of the words here, they all end with a 6th letter. And we have seen how the attribution of the pronouns have been done. Now let's come to al-bahth, research and detailed explanation of this topic. كل مثال من الأمثلة السابقة. He says all of the examples from the previous example, each example from the previous examples يشتمل على فعل ماض ناقص. Each of the examples contain a past tense verb which is a ناقص verb. وقد أسندت الأفعال فيها إلى تاء المفاعل ونا وألف الاثنين ونون النسوة وواو الجماعة. And all of these verbs, as you can see, have been attributed to either ta of the subject ta, the na, or the alif of two, or the noon of feminism, or the waw al-jama'a, or the waw of pluralism. وَبِتَأَمُّلِ الْأَفْعَالِ. And by studying carefully these verbs, نَرَى الْفِعْلَيْنِ خَشِيَ وَرَضِيَ آخِرُهُمَا يَا. We will see that the first two examples we have, the word رَضِيَ and also خَشِيَ, they all ended with what? Ya. وَأَنَّ الْفِعْلَيْنِ سَرُوَ وَنَهُوَ. And also that the two words سَرُوَ and نَهُوَ آخِرُهُمَا wa, they also ended with wa. That is for the second example. وَأَنَّ الْفِعْلَيْنِ دَعَى وَعَلَى. And that the two words دَعَى and عَلَى ثُلَاثِيَّانِ, they are three-letter words. أَصْلُ أَلْفِهِمَا وَأُنْ. The origin of the alif which ended them, it is wa. لِأَنَّهَا وَاءٌ فِي مُضَارِعِهِمَا يَدْعُو وَيَعْلُو. Because it is wa in their present tense form. When you bring these two words, da'a and ala, to their present form, you get yad'u and ya'lu. This shows that these two words originally ends with wa, or rather than the alif we are seeing. Now moving on, we have وَأَنَّ الْفِعْلَيْنِ مَضَى وَقَضَى. And also that the two words in example 4, مَضَى and قَضَى, ثُلَاثِيَّانِ أَصْلٌ. They are also originally three literal verbs. أَصْلُ أَلْفِهِمَا يَاءٌ. The origin of their alif is ya. لِأَنَّهَا يَاءٌ فِي مُضَارِعِهِمَا يَمْضِي وَيَقْضِي. Because in their present tense form, you can see that the alif is changed to ya. وَأَنَّ الْفَعِلَيْنِ اسْتَدْعَى. As for the last example, the word istad'a, وَاِعْتَلَى, and the word i'tala, تَزِيدُ أَحْرُفُ كُلٍّ مِّنْهُمَا عَلَى ثَلَاثَةٍ. You can see that each of them have an addition over their three letters. وإذا رجعنا الآن إلى الأمثلة لمعرفة ما حدث فيها. And if we are to return back to the examples now and to check the changes which has happened من التغيير بعد إسنادها إلى ضمائر الرفع البارزة, after the attachment of the pronouns, رأينا أن الأفعال المعتلة الآخر. You will see that the verbs which end with 6 letters إذا أسندت إلى واو الجماعة. If these verbs are attached to wa of jama', to wa of plurality, حذف منها حرف العلة, the 6 letter will be removed. Like when we say khoshu, the word was khoshiya, but because we want to say they feared, so we remove the ya to give khoshu. The same thing for the word saru, the wa was removed. The same thing for the word nahu, the same thing for the word da'aw, the original wa was removed. MashaAllah. He says, قبل الواو في المعتل بالألف وبقيت الفتحة قبل الواو في المعتل بالألف. And as for the word which ends with alif, the fatha remains before the wa. So, like the word, when we have the word da'a, it ends with alif. So now, the fatha which comes on top of the ayn remains. We only remove the haruf al-illa and added the waw al-jama'a to give us what? Da'aw. وَضُمَّ مَا قَبْلَهَا فِي غَيْرِهِ. And the letter which comes before the haruf al-illa, it is put in dumma. Like when we have the word nahu, mashallah. Kama yushahadu fi amthalat al-qism al-khamis. This is as we can see in the example 5. So we have the word here istada'aw, mashallah, because normally it was istada'a and the harf al-illa was removed. وأن الأفعال التي آخرها ياء أو واء. And also we can find out in examples that every verb which ends with either wa or ya لا يحدث فيها تغيير عند الإسناد إلى التاء. There is no changes that will occur if you are attaching this type of verbs to what? Ta, or to na, or aliful ithnain, or the alif of dualism, wa nun niswa, and even the nun of feminism. وأن الأفعال الثلاثية التي آخرها ألف مثل دعا. And also that the triliteral verbs which ends with alif, like the word da'a, ala, mada, and qada, turaddul alifu fiha ila asliha. That this type of verbs, the alif which are present in them are returned back to their origin in the isna'idi ila ta. When you want to attach them to ta, aw na, or to na, or alif ul ithnain, or to alif of dualism, aw nun niswa, or to the nun of feminism. فَمَرَّةً تُقْلَبُ وَاوًا كَمَا فِي دَعَا. Sometimes this alif will be changed and substituted with what? Wa, as we saw in the word da'a, when it became da'autu, da'auna. وَمَرَّةً تُقْلَبُ يَاءً كَمَا فِي مَضَى. And sometimes these verbs are changed, the last letter, the alif there, is changed to what? Ya, as we saw in the word mado. It became madoitu, madoina, madoina, madoya, mashallah. Now we also have here وأن الأفعال الزائدة على ثلاثة أحرف. And also that any verb which has more letters than 3 letters, وآخرها ألف, and the last letter is alif, تقلب ألفها ياء دائما. That such a verb, the alif ending it is always going to be changed to ya. In that isnad ila ضمائر السابقة, when you want to attach them and attribute them to the pronouns, as we have seen. Now we have al-qawaid, the rules which will guide us. The first rule says إذا أسند الماضي الناقص إلى واو الجماعة. When the past tense verb which ends with a sikh letter is attributed to wa of plurality, حذف حرف العلة, the sikh letter is removed, وبقيت الفتحة قبل الوا, and the fatha which appears before the wa is maintained. إذا كان المحذوف ألفا, if it is the one that the alif is omitted. وَالضُّمَّ مَا قَبْلَهَا إِذَا لَمْ يَكُنْ أَلِفًا. And if this word does not end with alif, then the letter coming before the harf al-illa is made to carry dhamma. The next rule says إِذَا كَانَ آخِرُ الْمَاضِ النَّاقِصِ يَاءً. If the last letter of a past tense verb is ya, أو واو, or it is wa, وأسند إلى غير الواو من الضمائر البارزة فإنه لا يحدث فيه التغيير. And this verb is made to be attributed to any of the pronouns as long as this pronoun is not wa, then no changes will occur. The last rule says إذا كان آخر الماضي الناقص ألفا. If the last letter of a past tense verb is alif, وأسند إلى غير الواو, and it is attached to other letters that is not wa, من ضمائر رفع البارزة, from among these pronouns, فإن كان ثلاثيا, if this verb is a 3-letter verb, ردت الألف إلى أصلها, the alif is returned back to its origin of either wa or ya. وإن زاد على ثلاثة, and if this word is above 3 letters, قلبت الألف ياء, the alif is simply turned to ya. Now we have exercises to solve. We'll simply pick points, some of the exercises, and solve them. We'll leave you to solve the remaining after going back to study the topic by yourself. بين في الجمل الآتية الأفعال الناقصة التي قلبت فيها الألف ياء واوا. We have to look at these expressions and indicate, bring out, explain all of the verbs which end with sikh letter, and the sikh letters are changed. The alif of the sikh letter is changed to ya or wa. والتي حذف فيها حرف العلة, and the ones that the sikh letter is even removed completely, مع ذكر الأسباب, and mention the reason. Now we have فتح العرب الأندلس. So here we have the word, okay, we don't have any word here. فشفى الناس من مرض الجهل. So the word شفاو, we can see it was shafa. So حذف منها الحرف العلة لإسناده إلى واو الجماعة. Because واو الجماعة is attached, we remove the حرف العلة. ووفوا بالأهد. The word وفوا is also وفا, and also حذف منها حذفت حرف العلة. The second letter is omitted. وهدوهم الصراط المستقيم. So هدوا, the same thing, the حرف العلة is omitted. Number 2, we have إذا سعيت إلى الغاية دنوت من النهاية. So سعيت, here the word is sa'a. The word is sa'a. The alif is returned back to its original here. Danautu, the same thing, the word is dana. The alif is returned back to wa. Number 3, we have khairun nisa'i man nasayna al-isa'a. Okay, no translate. Khairun nisa'i, the best of women are the type of women who forget the evil act that's been done to them. So we have nasayna here from the word nasiya, nasina. So from the word nasiya. So you can see that what the noun is simply attached to it. Now we have wa'ayna nasiha from the word wa'a. So here no omission is done also. وَأَصْغَيْنَا إِلَى صَوْتِ الْفَضِيلَ, and they listen to good voice. So asgoina, the noun is simply attached to it also. Asgo, and it's returned back to ya. Now تمرين الثاني, class number 2, we have ما شكل الحرف الذي قبل واو الجماعة في كل فعل من الأفعال الآتية. What is the form of the letter which comes before the واو الجماعة in the following verbs? وما سبب الشكل, and what is the reason for this shape? Number we have الغربيون سموا بالعلم والاختراع. The Westerners are named for knowledge, or are known for knowledge and also innovations. So we have the word samau. The shakl of the word before the wa is what? Nam, alif. Sama is alif, mashallah. So you can solve the remaining by yourself. Number 3, we have أسند في جمل مفيدة كل فعل من الأفعال الآتية إلى ضمائر رفع البارزة. Each of the present tense verbs, you are to place them in complete sentences, making each of them to be attributed to the pronouns we have learned. The first one is jaro. The first, I can say jaraitu fil maidani. Jaraina fil maidani. You can stop the remaining. تمرين ورابع, exercise number 4, we have حول العبارة الآتية إلى خطاب المفردة والمثنى والجمع بنوعيه. You are to change this expression, this tone to what? Make it a tone to what? To speak into a singular, dual, and also plural in its two forms. That is the dual, the singular male, singular female, dual male, dual female, and the plural male and plural female. So now here we have sil akhaka idha na'a wa samihu idha hafa. The two words you have to look at is the word sil and the word samih. These are the command tenses. So for the female it will be sili, then you complete. For samih to be samihi. If there are two, sila, samiha. Can you see? Samihu, silu. So you can do this by yourself. Tamrin al-khamis, that's number 5. We have kawin khamsa jumalin. Form 5 sentences. تشتمل كل واحدة منها على فعل ماض ناقص. Each of them should contain a verb which a past tense verb which ends with a sick letter. مسند إلى ضمير رفع. This sick letter, this verb should be attached or attributed to a pronoun that we have learned. ما استفاء ضمائر رفع البارزة. Making sure that you exhaust all of the pronouns we have. So you can choose any word to form this. We have learned this. تمرين السادس, number 6, we have number 1. كون جملة المبتدأ فيها مثنى مؤنث. You have to form a sentence. This sentence, the mubtada should be dual feminine. والخبر جملة مبدوءة بماض ناقص, and the predicate should be what? Begin with a past tense verb that is what? Ending with a sick letter. That is easy. Number 2, كون جملة المبتدأ فيها جمع مذكر سالم. You also to form a sentence. The mubtada, the noun beginning this sentence, should be جمع مذكر سالم, a sound masculine plural. والخبر, and the predicate should be jumlatun mabdu'atun bimadin naqis, and the predicate should be a past tense verb which is ending with a sick letter. Number 3, kawwin jumlatan al-mubtada'u fiha jam'u mu'annasin salim. Form a sentence also. This sentence, the mubtada should also be sound feminine plural. Wal khabaru jumlatun mabdu'atun min ma'din naqis, and the predicate should be a verb which ends with a sick letter. Lastly, kawwin jumlatan al-mubtada fiha damirul mutakallimin. Form a sentence. This sentence, the mubtada should be the pronoun for the mutakallimin, for the speakers, for the first person speakers. Wal khabar, and the predicate jumlatun should be a sentence mabdu'at which begins with ma'din naqisin, that is a past tense verb having a sick letter at the end. All these are your homework to solve. By the time you solve this, you see that you would have had a good grasp of this topic, and all of these mentioned here are topics which you have discussed, so it will not be hard for you to learn. If you have not watched most of these videos which house these topics here in order for you to be able to solve these questions, then you can click on the link above to check the playlist. I am assuring you that you'll find all of the topics there. You can go through them one after the other in order to have a good understanding of this Arabic grammar. Until we meet, jazakumullahu khairan for always staying tuned. Make sure you like, share with your friends, and your comments in the comment section. Do not even forget to hit on the join button below to join our membership in order to get our members only content. Don't also forget to hit on the description box in order to check our store over there to purchase some of our books which will be of benefit to you. Until we meet, jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum